What was the mindset before you start this project? Did you plan for it, or did you just do it right away the moment you got the idea? Since it's the third time that I'm doing this study, I planned for it, but not really in a sophisticated way. I just collected the first references that I needed. I started with the hip bone because this was the area that I struggled with at the moment, and I went from there. So my mindset was to, because it's a good question, I want to elaborate a little bit on that. I tried to see every object of the body as an individual small project. So the entire study in itself can be quite overwhelming because there are a lot of objects in there, a lot of stuff is going on. And as you can see, I have like 106 objects in this one, and I have combined a few things already. And tackling all of that at once can be quite daunting and demotivating. So I tried to see everything as an individual project. So for example, the hip bone in the beginning, that was a project in itself to block that one out. And then I moved on one bone after the other. And I was able to quickly block everything out, and I could adjust everything in relation to each other then. And it was a lot of small milestones along the way. And the aim for the study was to learn and refresh my anatomy knowledge. And so there isn't anything wasted when it comes to the process, because I want to learn. So the result isn't really that important, and it's more important that I can figure stuff out and learn new things that I didn't know before. And I actually plan to leave the model in the detail level as you can see here now, and just move on to the muscles. And I did that, but I still had motivation to put the details in once I got to that point. And I think if I set it out in the beginning to have that kind of detail level as it has right now, especially here now in the pelvis area, I think it would have been quite demotivating because it took a long time to get to this stage. And being able to be flexible in the goal is sometimes a good thing to trick yourself into actually start doing the project. And for me, when it comes to this study, this is definitely helpful for me to break it down into the smallest step that I can imagine that gets me going. So if the goal is too big and it's too daunting, then I try to break it down, and sometimes I break it down so I'm sure that I can finish this task in like 5 minutes or something, just to make a little bit of progress. And when I'm able to achieve that, it gives me most of the time more energy to pursue the next step in this project. So I started with the hip and worked myself along or through the entire body, and seeing the results, seeing how everything comes together, gave me more motivation and energy to get to the next step. So even the skeleton in itself is an achievement to get through. And then I just tackled the face, for example. And this alone is already valuable. And I tried to apply that to all of the different muscles and all steps of the way. And right now, or at the point where I am right now, the motivation hasn't left me, or has not left me yet. So I want to keep on detailing and pushing it to the next level until I'm exhausted and I don't want to do it anymore. Or if I get to the edge of what I'm capable to do. And then I can move on to the next project. So as long as I haven't gotten everything out of it that I feel I can get out of it, and I feel that I'm making progress and I'm not stuck in a loop, then I want to keep doing it. And I don't have any time pressures right now to finish this project, since it's just for personal study reasons. So yeah, long answer to that question, but I hope it clarifies how I approached this study in the first place. And this was basically the mindset that I had when I did my first study like this, I think 6 years ago. So this is why I like studies like this, like the Ekashe study, because it consists of so many individual small projects. So it's easy to break it down to small tasks. Next level, internal organs. I think it will take a while before I tackle those. But yeah, this is like a whole nother level. And for me, I wanted to understand why the surface is shaped the way it is. And the surface is defined by the skeleton, the muscles, and the fat pads. So this is why this is valuable for me to learn. And hopefully I can incorporate that into future character models and stuff like that. So hope it answered your question. Slay. Yeah. Stevens, thinking of each part as a single prop is a good way not to have this artist board syndrome. Yeah, I think sometimes it's like there's too much going on and there's such a gap between what you have to do next and what you're able to do next, or what you want to have and what you're able to do as a next step. Like tackling the whole model at once, there's so much that you have to do. And if you don't have it broken down into these individual tasks, then there's a huge gap between your goal and the next action that you can take. So, bam, yeah, that's actually a good tip. Rewarding yourself little by little could lead to more motivations along the way. I think this is why you have to like the process when it comes to artistic pursuits. Because the reward for it when you rely on like likes or the finished product in general, there's such a huge time frame where you have to put so much into it that you have to find ways to reward yourself along the way. And I think this can be achieved by breaking it down to smaller milestones. And yeah, if the process itself is fun for you, then it's rewarding all the time. And this will keep you motivated to keep doing this stuff and not stopping.